Morning text from my wife. Change of plans, you're staying home from Europe. My kids want their real dad. By afternoon, I had cancelled all the payments, listed apartment, and left town completely. When they returned 2 weeks later, the notification came at 6:47 a.m. while I was tying my work boots. My phone buzzed twice on the kitchen counter. I picked it up expecting a schedule change, or maybe a weather alert. Instead, I got a text from my wife that rewired my entire morning. Plans changed. You're staying home. The kids want their biological father on the Europe trip. Dennis is coming instead. I read it 3 times. Same words each time. No apology, no explanation. Just a decision handed down like I was an employee being reassigned. I set the phone on the counter and stared at the coffee maker. The red light blinked steady and patient. My hands were calm. That surprised me. I poured coffee into my thermos and sat down at the kitchen table. The same table where we'd planned this trip 6 months ago, where I'd circled dates on the calendar and calculated costs, where I'd signed up for overtime shifts to cover the flights I just paid for last week. Flights that apparently didn't include me anymore. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. She'd left yesterday with Justin and Annabelle, headed to her sister's place before the international departure tomorrow morning. They'd be gone 2 weeks touring museums, eating at cafes, taking photos in front of old buildings. I've been looking forward to it. Not anymore. I opened my phone and looked at our bank accounts. Joint checking showed the Europe fund nearly empty after the ticket purchases. 3 tickets at $1,900 each. My savings account sat there with the emergency money I've been building for 5 years. Untouched by anyone but me. I opened my email and found the flight confirmations. All free tickets purchased on my credit card. My name on the billing. Her name on the passenger list. Her kids on the passenger list. Dennis Olsen on the passenger list. Now, I assumed I'd never met Dennis. He'd been gone since before I came into the picture. Reappeared 6 months ago at Justin's high school graduation. All smiles and backslaps like he'd been there the whole time. My wife had called it closure. I called it what it was, too polite to say it out loud. I stood up and walked to the window. The parking lot below was filling up with people heading to work. Normal Tuesday morning. Everyone had somewhere to be. I had a ceramics workshop shift starting in 40 minutes. Industrial tile production, steady pay, nothing glamorous. I'd taken that job 8 years ago when we needed reliable income. When her kids needed school supplies and winter coats and someone to fix the car, I pulled out my laptop and opened my bookmarks. I'd been organized about finances since my father taught me to keep records. Every payment, every receipt, every auto draft. I had a folder labeled household expenses. I opened it. 8 years of documentation, rent payments, all from my account. Utility bills, my name, my payments. Car insurance for her vehicle, my card. The kids' phone plans, my account. Streaming services, subscription boxes, gym memberships I didn't use. All of it pointing back to the same source, me. I made a list, not because I was angry, but because I needed to see it written down. Needed to confirm what I already knew. By the time I finished, I'd counted 42 recurring monthly expenses that I covered alone. 42. My phone buzzed again. Another text from her. Don't be upset. Dennis wants to bond with his kids. You understand? I typed out 5 different responses. Deleted all of them. Finally, I just wrote back, have a good trip. I didn't add anything else. No questions, no arguments, just 4 words and a period. Then I called my supervisor and told him I needed the day off. Family emergency. He didn't ask questions. I sat back down at the kitchen table with my laptop and my phone and every document I'd saved over the years. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to do what I should have done the first time I felt like a wallet with legs. I was going to handle this the way you handle anything that's been built on the wrong foundation. Carefully, methodically, and completely. The coffee in my thermos had gone cold by the time I finished making the first 3 calls. I didn't notice. I had 12 more to make before lunch. The first call was to the credit card company. I explained that I needed to remove an authorized user from my account. The representative asked if there was a problem. No problem, I said. Just simplifying things. She was off the account in 4 minutes. I thanked them and hung up. Second call. Went to the streaming services. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Spotify Premium Family Plan. I canceled each one while standing at the kitchen window watching cars pull out of the parking lot. The customer service scripts were all the same. Can we ask why you're canceling today? Just cutting back, I said each time. By call number 5 I'd moved on to the phone plan. 3 lines under my name. Mine, hers and Annabelle's. The representative explained that I could suspend the other 2 lines instead of canceling if I wanted. No, I said, cancel them. Just to confirm. Sir, this will disconnect service immediately. That's correct. I opened my list again, and kept going. Car insurance on her vehicle. The one I'd been paying for since the transmission went out 3 years ago. I called the agent directly. He knew me by name. Hey, I need to remove a vehicle from my policy. I said, sure thing. Which one? The Mazda. There was a pause. That's your wife's car, right? You sure about that? Positive. All right. I'll process it today. She'll need to get her own coverage if she wants to keep driving it. I understand. He didn't push. We'd known each other since high school. He just said he'd email the confirmation, and hung up. I walked to the bedroom and opened the closet. My clothes took up maybe a third of the space. The rest was hers. Dresses she'd bought for dinners I'd paid for. Shoes that cost more than my work boots. I didn't touch any of it. I just stood there looking at how much room I'd given up without noticing. My laptop was still open on the kitchen table when I got back. I pulled up the lease agreement for the apartment. My name, my signature, hers was nowhere on it. I'd signed this lease 5 years ago when we'd moved in together, back when she'd said her credit wasn't great and asked if I'd mind handling it alone. I'd mind it. I'd just been too stupid to say it out loud. I called Stevens Property Management. The office manager, Faith, answered on the second ring. I need to discuss my lease. I said, of course. What's going on? I'm planning to vacate early. What's the process? She pulled up my account. You're paid through the end of next month. If you give 30 days notice we can start showing it. Are you relocating for work? Something like that. I'll email you the notice form. Once you sign, we'll list it immediately. Market's good right now. Shouldn't take long to fill. I thanked her and opened the email before we'd even hung up. Signed it digitally. Sent it back. My phone buzzed. A text from Justin. Dude, my phone just died. What happened? I typed back. Payment plan was under my account. You'll need to set up your own. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally. Seriously, I replied. Annabelle texted next. Same confusion, same question. I gave her the same answer. Then my wife called. I let it ring 4 times before answering. What are you doing? Her voice was tight, controlled. The tone she used when she was angry but trying not to show it in public. Adjusting expenses, I said, you canceled the kids' phones. I canceled the lines I was paying for. They're adults. They can handle their own bills. This is ridiculous. We're about to leave the country. Then you should probably sort that out before your flight. Silence on her end. I could hear airport announcements in the background. Gate changes, boarding calls. You're being childish, she finally said. I'm being clear, I replied. You wanted your actual family on this trip. I'm giving you exactly that. That's not what I meant.